Okay, so today we'll be starting with the third point, that is pre-testing of finished ads. Okay, so if you remember, this is basically what we are doing is we are monitoring, then uh, controlling the ads basically. Okay, so there are two kinds of tests: one is pre-test and post-test. So pre-tests are done before you basically transmit the ad or uh, send it to newspaper or so and so. Okay, this is pre-test. So before broadcast, what I used the term earlier. Before broadcast, we are testing at different levels. So we just finish those. Okay. Then post test. What are post tests? Post tests are the tests which are basically done after a particular ad is aired or it's published. Where when people are seen the ad or they are already what we call aware of this particular ad. So pre-test when people will not be knowing, so we are using some focus group for few set of people basically. Okay. So but in post-test, it is like whomever you wanted to intend to show or whichever channel you wanted it to move. Okay, it has already done, and we are basically evaluating how well it is being doing. Okay, so there are various questions we saw in the previous class. Okay, what kind of questions like did you like it? What did you understand? Okay, how did you feel? So what was the thing that you noticed? What do you remember? So these kind of things are basically done. Okay. So then now coming to pre-testing of finished ads. So again it is pre-testing only, but finished ads. So we completed till half finished ads. Okay. So now pre-testing of finished ads. The ad or the commercial is finished and is ready to go to the market. Okay, so testing of finished ads gives better information about the ad. So tests under this stage are for print ads, portfolio test, analysis of readability, dummy advertising vehicles. Okay, the same thing is here again for print ads. Then for broadcast ads, we are having theater tests and on-air tests. Okay, so these are the two kinds of things. Okay, which we are doing for print ads. These are there. That is three portfolio test, analysis of readability and dummy advertising vehicles. For broadcast ads, it is theater test and on-air test. So what is this first one? Portfolio test. So portfolio test. Portfolio test. Then it is a laboratory method designed to expose a group of respondents to a portfolio consists of both control and test ads. So as the word laboratory states, like the people who are the respondents are brought to a certain place. It is being basically done between four walls. Okay, that is we are basically bringing them to a particular place. So which we are telling laboratory. Okay, so this is laboratory test designed to expose a group of respondents. So we are having a group of people who will be looking at something. Okay, to a portfolio. Something is that something is a portfolio consisting of control ads and test ads. So control ads are the ads which are already there. Okay, so people might have already seen. So those are control ads. Then test ads, the ads which we want to test. Okay, those are the test ads. Then respondents are then asked what information they recall from the ad. So after seeing, after the particular respondents are given this particular portfolio, they'll go through all the ads, then they'll take the portfolio back, then they'll ask some questions regarding. It will be mixed. It is they'll not only ask about the test ads, even control ads. The people should not know like what is being asked basically. So they will be thinking that okay, they could ask any question from anywhere. So they will be looking at it just like that. Just a normal person how he looks, they'll go through that particular portfolio. Then particular set of questions are asked. So respondents are then asked what information they recall from the ads. If a particular ad is being asked, or they'll ask in general. So what all you remember in the whole portfolio? Okay, some questions like this will be asked to them. Then the assumption is that the ads that yield the highest recall are the most effective. So how many people out of that particular group remember which ad? Okay, so like for example there would be something which is basically attracting these people. So out of like around 10, 15, or 20 people who are there in a group, so they could be asked in a group or separately also they could be asked. So if it was separately, so how many people say a particular ad they remember? Okay, so based on that, a particular rating is being given. So if it is a test ad, well and good. Otherwise, the test ad was not able to capture the attention of those people. Okay, then how effective the ad was, basically we'll get to know. So whether people recall this particular ad, so they'll give some hints if they are not able to recall. After giving the hints also, if they are not recalling, that means your ad is not that attractive to these particular respondents. Okay, so this is portfolio test. That's how it is done. Then readability test. What is readability test? It measures the communication efficiency of the print ad. Means whatever you wanted to communicate to the audience, whether that was the same thing that they got after seeing the ad. Okay, that is what is the readability test. It's like measuring the communication efficiency. If I want to tell you, okay, you need to go to a certain place tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Okay, I meant was this. So you should not understand that, okay, I am coming to your house at 3 o'clock. Okay, this is like just an example I'm giving you. So it should be very clear. People should understand basically what you wanted to say. Okay, and not something else than that. So it uses flash formula to assess the readability of the copy by determining the average number of syllables per 100 words. Syllables in the sense, what you call it? A pronunciation of vowels. So how many pronunciation of vowels are there per 100 words? Like example, I'll give you water. So it is a two-syllable word. Water. Okay. So you are having two syllables. Water. So when you say these two syllables, we are getting water. Okay. So inferno. Take one more example. Inferno. It is having three syllables. Inferno. So three syllables. So like this, we are finding out the average number of syllables that we are using in 100 words. Then human interests appeal of the material, length of sentences, and familiarity with the certain words are also considered and correlated with the educational background of target audience. Okay, what kind of material you are showing? What are the length of the sentences that you are putting over there? Okay, then are you using familiar words or the basic words which people know, or you are using something different? Okay, there could be some words where they are used like abundantly in US or UK, but it may not be used in India. We may not be knowing many words which they use in general talk or in normal life. Okay, we use different kind of words here. They might be using different kind of words, but the meaning might be the same. So how are you basically telling this? So based on the background of the target audience, educational background. So how much are they literate, or like till where which standard, or like what degree they have done basically. So will they understand it or not? So even these kinds of tests are also being done where the uh, audience is of different educational qualifications also. Okay, then the test results are compared to previously established norms for various target audience. Okay, so norms in the sense they have already found out so many things. Okay, by doing the same test on different groups. So again, with that those data, this particular test results are being compared. Okay, stating that how this particular group basically did when compared to the all the other groups. Okay, so then test suggests that copy is best comprehended when sentences are short, words are concrete and familiar, and personal references are drawn. Okay, like what they are telling you here is this suggests the copy is best comprehended, in the sense best understood or best remembered when sentences are short. When I'm telling in small sentences, it should not be 2 lines, 3 lines, or 5 lines for one sentence. Okay, there should be break. So if the use of smaller sentences are preferred. Then the words which are concrete and familiar, in the sense words which give a firm footing and which are very much used or known by the people. If you are using that, then people will remember. The things which you don't use much, you usually won't remember it. Like I'll give you example of names. There are many names which you remember, which are normally used, but sometimes you hear a name which is not common, and it is very difficult for you to remember because it is not that common. So you need to make that effort to remember. If you want to call him, you should try to remember what was his name or her name. Okay, so that is where the familiarity comes. So if you are using a normal term or a normal name, okay, where in that particular region it is normally used, then it is directly related to it. Okay, otherwise it is very difficult for people to remember even as small as the name is concerned. Okay, and uh, personal references are drawn in the sense, so you might have seen ads, like the ads will be basically the things that are going on a routine basis in our lives. Then only we can correlate with the ads. Then we can remember this thing had happened with me. So and they are showing like this. See how funny it is. Okay. So how humor they'll add in ads like where there is accident and all. So you can make it a tragedy ad also. You can make it a comedy ad also. Okay. So based on the music that you are having, the way you are basically acting over there, okay, how the situation is brought in front of you. So all these taken into consideration, then we are having personal references to it. You might have seen like so many ads or like in movies and so many scenes. Okay, a particular scene will say, yes, this happened with me. Okay, so I'm feeling like I'm looking what happened with me on the screen. So many times it happens, right, when you're watching a movie or something. So that is where you are relating. That is what is your personal reference. So you remember that thing. So if somebody says, okay, do you remember that movie? You say no. Okay, then they'll say this particular what do you call it? Part of the movie. Then you'll say, oh, that movie. Yeah, I remember now. So these things happen where we are giving the personal references. Okay, this is readability test. Next comes dummy advertising vehicles. What are these dummy advertising vehicles? Ads are placed in dummy magazines. Okay, developed by an agency. The magazine contains regular editorial features of the interest of the reader as well as ads. Okay, what is this dummy magazine? So they'll take a good magazine only. Okay, where a normal editorial is there. So based on what kind of magazine, we have even dealt with types of magazines also, business magazine, general magazine, then agricultural magazine. They'll take a certain magazine. Okay, then the type of magazine it is related to that, there are editorials. Editorials in the sense the stories given or information given, news that is there. So all that related to what kind of a particular magazine it is. It's already there. Okay, then the dummy magazines are distributed to a random sample of homes. Okay, these particular magazines are randomly distributed in a particular area. Okay, then what happens? Random sample of houses in predetermined geographical areas. So a set area basically you are distributing to random houses. Readers are told the magazine publisher is interested in evaluation of editorial content. Okay, and asked to read the magazines as they normally would. In the sense, we say what is written. We are interested in what is written to evaluate what is written. Editorial in the sense what is written basically. Okay, a paragraphs, a small short story people write. Okay, or a particular article on something. So people are said that a particular editor is very much keen to know about the editorial. Okay, then what happens? So they'll be asked to read it like how they read normal magazines, other things. Okay, then readers are interviewed on their reactions to both editorial content and ads. Okay, so while reading the editorial, okay, do you really see the ads or not? Okay, in general times, you really don't want to see the ads. If I tell, okay, I'm evaluating the ad, they'll go through all the ads properly. So if I say I'm interested in editorial, so usually that is the case, right? When you take a magazine, you want to read what is there and not go through the advertisement. So that is what is being environment where normally what happens is what they want to see. So all in that, so they want to the respondents to focus on what is being written and not on the ad. But still the ads are put in that particular magazine. Okay, so it is there somewhere in between in the magazine. Okay, and but they are asked to focus more on the editorials, that is the stories or the content of that particular magazine. Okay, then readers are interviewed, then recall, readership and interest generating capabilities of the ads are assessed. In the sense, when you already have said that okay, I am looking more into the editorials. Okay, but questions about editorial plus the questions about the ads are asked to them. Okay, how well, if you say that okay, that is not important, but still is my ad drawing attention to the people's what you call thought or people, whether it is drawing the people's attention towards it. Okay, that is what is important. And is it doing that particular work or not? So that is what we are telling. Recall, readership, and interest generating capabilities of the ads are assessed. In the sense, you have already gone through that particular magazine, you have seen the ad. Do you recall the ad? Okay, what was the ad given to you on that particular page will be asked to you. So whether those particular respondents remember, how many respondents remembered and told what part they remembered. So that is what, that particular part is what more attracted them towards that particular ad. So this is what is dummy advertising vehicle. So they put the ads in normal magazines and they are distributed to many places randomly, sorry, many houses randomly in a particular geographical area. They'll be asked to go through the content, basically the editorial. Okay, then they ask some questions to them based on the editorial plus the ads. So, but what is our intention? Our intention is to assess whether the ad is grabbing the attention of the readers or not. Okay, this is dummy advertising vehicles. Then comes pre-testing finished broadcast ads. So, what are these finished broadcast ads? So we are having theater testing. So what is it? It is a laboratory method. Again, people are brought to some place within four walls, then a particular things are being done on them. So that is laboratory method. Participants are invited to view pilots of proposed TV programs. Pilots of proposed TV programs. In the sense, pilot, why we, what we say, or why we say pilot, in the sense it is not at aired, so it is being only shown to those people. Okay, so it is not the final one, so it is a pilot. So view pilot of proposed TV programs. Okay, then standard programs are used, so audience response can be compared with the normative responses established by previous viewers. In the sense, normal shows are being shown, in between the ads are also shown. So because they should not get suspicious what is being shown, everyone should not be very what you call attentive or to find each and everything. So if you say, okay, I'll be checking, I'll show a photo and I'll say I'll ask questions on it. So people will, what they'll do, they'll start observing each and every minute thing, what color it was, how many bottles are kept, if any bottles are kept over there. Okay, how many people are there, what color of dresses they are wearing, so are they wearing masks or no. This is an example I'm telling you. So you can give any kind of picture. Okay, there could be some birds. So how many birds are there? What is the color of the bird? Okay, how many birds are looking at right and how many are looking at left? Okay, is any bird closing the eye or no? So something like this. So we tend to observe the uh, in depth of that particular picture. So to avoid this, what they do, generally what they show, the normal programs, what people look. So in between those particular ads are being shown. So whether these particular ads can be recognized by these people or not, whether they recall it or not, that is what we want to find out. So standard programs are used so audience responses can be compared with normative responses established by previous viewers. In the sense, there could be different set of people who could be seeing this, and it will be basically compared between the results of those people and the new set of people. Okay, then sample size basically range from 250 to 600 participants. So all 250 or all 600 are not shown at a time. It is these people are like divided into different groups of 10, 20, 50, 80. It could be anything. Then a particular thing is being shown. Then questions are being asked to them. Then on entering the theater, viewers are told a drawing will be held for gifts and asked to complete a product preference questionnaire asking which product they would prefer if they win. Okay, what they are telling is when these people come over there, the set of people what you have already distributed, those people will come to that particular theater, they'll be given a questionnaire. So they'll be told that if you win, so what would you like to have? Okay, what would you like to have? So a set of things are being given to you, to the respondents basically, to just to check what will be their preferences. Okay, when I say you will be winning, there is a particular contest going on. So just let me know if you win what you want to have out of this particular choice that is given to them. Then this form also 6 demographic data. What is demographic data? The age, gender, the educational qualification, then are you like employment status, then what salary bracket you form or you belong to. So these are demographic data basically. So this kind of data also is being taken based on like what kind of test you are doing. Like if it is age kind of test, so you asking age, what is your age? Then you will try to compare what was the answer given by a particular age group. Okay, so if you are targeting that, then this form also is demographic data. Then participants may be seated in specific locations in the data to allow observation by age, gender, and so on. So based on the type of your test, you can ask different people to sit at different places. Uh, like 10 to 20 age of people should be sitting at the right. Then from 21 to 30 in middle. Okay, 31 to 40 or 50 should be sitting at the right. Okay, this is I'm uh, bifurcating them on the basis of age. Okay, or I could say right side should be seated by all the male and left side should be seated by all the females. So here I am doing by gender. Okay, then age, gender, then educational qualification also I can make. Like if I want, I can do only two. Like how many of you have completed plus two or a degree will be sitting on my right, and all others will be sitting on my left. So something like this. So based on what kind of study you basically want or what kind of information you want, you can split them and ask them to sit in various places. Okay, then they view the program and commercials, and a form asking for evaluation is distributed. Now, after showing them all these things, again one more form is given to them where the questions related to what was shown will be there. Okay, then participants are then asked to complete a second form for a drawing so that changes in product preferences can be noted. Okay, so second time when they give them this particular questionnaire, so they'll ask them again few questions from the earlier questionnaires also. Then they'll try to find out after the commercial or not, will the particular person change his preference now. Okay, so for example, commercial of a particular TV will be shown. Okay, there could be earlier in the first when they come before showing, there could be like set of TVs. Okay, a TV brand should might be given. Like if you want to have a TV, this particular brand of TVs are there. Okay, so he will take a particular TV that I want if I win. So a particular TV commercial is shown. I am giving you examples. A particular TV commercial is shown. Then similar question would be asked to him. Okay. Now which TV one you want to have if you win? So if is the choice what he has done is remains the same or he is changing the preference. Earlier you might have said a different brand. Now he will put a different brand. Why is this? Okay, this is because whatever he saw on the theater or on that particular advertisement is basically changing his preference. Okay, towards something. So it could be the same like that particular TV with the ad, or it could be something different. So we need to find out. So something like this particular research will be done or testing will be done whether my ad is affecting the preferences of people or not. Okay, so when I say okay, it is given for free now also and later also if you win, but why the preference change if at all it changed? Otherwise, if not, there could be some reason where the particular person is very much attracted or attached to that particular thing. It could be many things. Okay, so I just gave an example. So related to this, if you have changed, okay, why? Give the reason. If not, what was the reason of not changing the brand? So something like this. Okay, so this could be asked to those particular people. Then participants are then asked to complete a second question. Okay, we are done with this. Then pre-testing, finished broadcast ads. Then on-air ads. So what are on-air ads? Here the finished ads are into actual TV programs in certain test markets. Okay, what happens here? Here the finished ads are actually shown in some TV programs in certain test markets. In the sense, some local channels are there. Okay, so it is shown as usual, like general ads are shown. So it is shown where a particular media is only played in that particular region or the area. Okay, that particular place, these particular ads are shown. Then the commercials used are in finished form. In the sense, the thing that you feel is finished. Okay, or the advertisement that you feel is ready, that particular advertisement is shown in these particular areas or in these particular uh, local channels, or if it is a print ad, you can send it in a local newspaper where it is being only distributed in that particular area. It could be 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, or 50 kilometers. That particular area only, that this particular newspaper is being distributed. So in that you are having this final ad. Okay, excuse me. The commercial used in finished form, although the testing of ads earlier in the developmental process is also becoming more common. In the sense, what we saw earlier, so those processes are also becoming more common. So it used field methodology. In the sense, we are testing directly in the field, but for a small amount of people. Okay, so it is just as a normal ad is being shown, but we know that it is, we are testing it. People might think, okay, the ad is real, what they have shown it to us. In most of the testing services like Nelson have offered evidence of both validity and reliability for on-air pre-testing of commercials. So the name what you can see here, you might have heard. Okay, Nielsen is one of the companies where they provide such kind of data. Okay, Reuters is one of those. Like they provide TRP, GRP kind of data. So which program is running good? Okay, so in what program, if I show my ad, will have a large number of viewership. So all these things, the data related to this, like would be given by these particular agencies. So if you are interested in this kind of data, you need to pay them and you need to buy that. So it might be like a daily or hourly or monthly data or weekly data. So like if you want, if you have aired your a particular advertisement, okay, for a particular month, so you could ask them, okay, what is the uh, viewership of my particular ad in this particular month? Okay, so you will be asking for data for only that. Okay, or if you are having two different ads, so in the first week you are playing one of the ads, and in the second week you are broadcasting the second ad. So you will be collecting data from both weeks. Then you are comparing which ad was better or which ad had more impact on people. Okay, so this is what is the on-air test. Then most of the testing services like Nielsen have offered evidence. So they have already given evidence that both validity and reliability for on-air pre-testing of commercials. In the sense, whatever data you are getting, it is reliable as well as it is valid. Okay, that is what these people are telling you. So on-air tests will give you reliable as well as valid data. Then it indicates the ad's likely success. In the sense, we can directly correlate how success will be your ad, or how much, what probability is there of success of the ad. So out of like 100 households or 100 people watching it, if 20 or 30 are watching the ad at a particular time, so it says okay, 30% is the efficiency. So or effective, it is 30% effective. So if it is 80 or 90 people out of 100 are watching it, then we can say the efficiency of that particular ad or the uh, uh, attention grabbing capacity of that particular ad is more than other ads. Okay, this is what is it? It is still indirectly because you have already aired it, but only to that particular small geographic area. So you can extrapolate those particular results in wherever areas you are basically sending it. Okay, so for example, you did this particular ad only in Belgaum, and you want to show it throughout the Karnataka. Okay, throughout Karnataka, you want to show this ad. Now, what results you got, it could be extrapolated. In the sense, the same results or similar results can be got with the people for all over Karnataka. Okay, so why I'm telling is the region is similar. So, as you have done it on a regional area, so because in Karnataka, most of us watch Kannada TV serials. Okay, so when you are taking whole of Karnataka. So if you are doing it in Belgaum, you will be doing it in programs like where people are watching Kannada. Okay, so there when you can extrapolate, that's why I said only Karnataka. I did not go to India because many states different languages are being shown. Okay, based on this year test, because it is for a small area, I cannot extrapolate it throughout the country or throughout the world. There are many people all over the world who don't even watch any regional channel of India. In the sense, any channel that is showing Indian languages, they don't want to see because they see their own languages or English languages or whatever programs in English language, but they are not interested in languages which are there in India because they are not using them, they don't understand. Okay, why will they see that? So similarly, as this is a small area, test done on a small area, so similar kind of peoples where you have, okay, there only you can test it or there only you can broadcast it. So if you want to have it in a different language, you need to go to that particular area, right? So or in general, you are talking about you want to dub it or do something else, yes, that can be done. Okay, but a proper dubbing and the proper punches and the proper voice modulation should be there. Otherwise, earlier you might have seen different languages movies will be dubbed in different languages and how pathetic they would be, especially the songs. Okay, so they will not match what they are doing, what we are saying, the music will not match. So what happens most of the time we'll cut the songs. Okay, we'll keep only the movie other than the songs or dialogues in the movie. So slowly this also is being evolved. So nowadays you can see the Hindi channels and regional channels in Kannada, Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, all kind of like lessons, all regional movies are being shown in the that respective regional language. So even the daily soaps, the serials that you can see, okay, so especially in Kannada, if you see, we are getting serials from all over the country. So there are some Hindi serials where they are being dubbed into Kannada from some Telugu, Tamil. Okay, so there is no language barrier, like in the sense getting it. Then we are basically converting it into our regional language. Okay, so those things can also be done in on-air tests, but it should be done properly so that it has the same effect that we had here. Okay, in our test. So that is on-air test. Then day after recall test. So day after recall score, what is done? It is a primary measure used in these tests. What is the primary measure? So here the audience are asked to score based on the recall of the test ad on the next day. So day after recall test says, I will show you the ad today. I'll send you home. I'll ask the questions related to this ad tomorrow. Okay. So if I show now and if I ask you, the memory is recent. You might recall more. Okay. So ads, it is not so, right? So you watch it today, but the requirement maybe tomorrow. But will you remember this particular ad that I have shown it to you? So this is day after recall scores. In essence, I'll show the ad today. I'll ask the questions about this particular ad tomorrow. So do you remember the ad that you have seen in between this particular movie? Okay, so what was the information that was given to you? What did you understand? Okay, by seeing that particular ad. So just the ad will not be shown. With that, different things will be shown. Like a normal TV where you are watching a particular channel. Okay, you will be watching a movie, for example. Suddenly there is a commercial, that is advertisements in between. So you are seeing advertisements in between that particular show. Similar kind of thing will be done here. Okay, and but the questions are not asked immediately. They are asked on the next day. How much do you remember? Do you remember watching the ad or no? We test what parameters or what things basically you remember of the ad. Do you remember the brand? Do you remember the product? Do you remember the person who is acting over there? If it is one or many, okay, or the background, the music. So it could be anything. So what do you remember basically? That is what we are looking at. This is day after recall scores. The next physiological measures we'll do it in the next class. Okay. So I need more time for doing it. So here some scientific terms are there. So like pupil dilation, galvanic skin response, eye tracking, and brain wave. So I'll explain this in the next class. I need more time so that I could explain you better. Okay. So today what all we did, just a small recap. So we started with this. So for print ads, we are having portfolio test, analysis of readability, dummy advertising vehicles. For broadcast, it is theater test and on-air test. We saw 5 tests today. That is 3 for print ads, that is portfolio, analysis of readability, and dummy advertisement vehicle for print ads. For broadcast ads, theater ads, and on-air test. Plus, there was one more, that is day after recall test. Okay, the third one I should have added over there. Day after recall tests. So, what is this? As I explained, I'll show you the ad today in between as a different media. Then I'll ask the questions about that on the next day, or it could be 2 days also, or 3 days also. But basically, day after, in the sense, sometime after. So it could be more number of days also. But usually it is the next day. Okay, this is where we are there today. So in the next class, physiological measures. So again, there are the different tests. Okay, physiological tests where your body reacts. So like the pupil dilation, okay, you can see pupil in the sense the eye. Inside the eye, what you see, the area where it is brown, black, or whatever. Your eye, basically eyeball. So between the eyeball, we are having pupil. Dilation in the sense you might have observed in cats, right? The eye becomes the black dot in between, it becomes big and small. That is the pupil. The same response is there in our eye also, but it is not to that extent. It will not become that big, or it will not become very minute dot like cat does. But still, even our eye has the same effect in between. It is not to that extent. It will not become from that big to that small, but there is some dilation based on the light and other stuff and what you feel. So that is what is being done over there. Then eye tracking, which part of the eye you are basically seeing. Okay. Then brain wave, which part of your brain basically activates on seeing something. So something like this we are looking into in this physiological measures. Okay. So it will be seen in the next class. Okay, students, we'll meet you in the next class. Bye. Take care for today.